Gaming brands seem to think that in order to have the best gaming mouse around, you need to have the lightest, which is why Corsair's developed the Sabre V2 Pro, which comes in at 36 grams or under if you're lucky. And this is an understated mouse with no RGB lighting and very little frills, although it does have some grip tape included in the box that I'll get to in a second. And it is obviously a wireless mouse, which sports a pretty convenient dongle that can sit near your mouse. It also works with Corsair's Web Hub, not iCue, which is a bit weird, but in the Web Hub you can set it to 8000 Hz polling rate and you can update the firmware. Now this is a slick gaming mouse designed to be super lightweight, obviously for FPS games, to help you get that competitive edge in theory, allowing you to flick it around the desk really easily and have a lot of fun while doing so. And it definitely is very capable in that regard. It is certainly lightweight and you do notice the difference in terms of the weight overall. Out of the box, you'll see it has this slick matte finish to it, some pretty easy access side buttons, a yellow scroll wheel, and the underside sports the power button, which is admittedly a little bit fiddly to turn on, weirdly. And you'll see that there are some other things to it. So the wireless dongle, as mentioned, can be plugged in really easily there to the cable and then plugged into the mouse when you need to. And I've been using it alongside the Vanguard Pro to get some pretty good gaming sessions out of it. However, I do have some complaints that I want to get to. One is that the body itself feels pretty flimsy. I won't say it feels cheap, but you can definitely see the flex in it. Obviously, there are going to be some compromises with making it so lightweight. That's one of them, and the other one is battery life, which I'll get to in a second. Now, this mouse reminds me of the Logitech Superlight in its format and its fit in the hand, which is no bad thing. It's certainly comfortable, and it's not too small either, which is great. It's certainly not a big mouse by any means, but it's not tiny either. You also have the addition of the grip tape, which I like as I do get hot hands while gaming, and oily fingertips can lead to slippage. So I did stick that on because I wanted to show you the difference between that, what it makes the weight and what it's like. And I will say I do like the accents on it. I do like the difference the grip tape makes. It makes it more comfortable and easier to use, although this is obviously a personal preference, whether you want to apply it or not. On the underside, you'll notice the skates are quite small as well, and you do have additional skates which you can also apply to it. But you can see now it looks pretty mean with that additional grip tape on it. Kind of gives it a nice accent to it and an additional bonus of having it more grippy. The skates underneath are a little bit fiddly to get off, but the larger ones cover a greater surface area. Now, obviously, adding this and the grip tape is going to add some additional weight, which might be a downside if you're trying to get the lightest mouse around, which is why it's not on there as standard. But I wanted to test out what this was like and to have it slicker, frankly, when using it. And when you do apply that, you'll see just how easy it is to skirt around on the desk or on your mat really easily as well. It still is weighing in at just 37 grams, so it hasn't actually added that much weight, probably 1 gram in it, something around there. And so the difference isn't that noticeable. Now, I have found I've got some pretty good sessions out of this with Battlefield and with the finals, and that it's been good to use, and my reactions with it have been pretty good as well. So I've got quite a few good kills with it, easily getting the gun on target and enjoying the capabilities of the mouse in a number of ways. I'm not going to say that it's going to transform you into a superior gamer by any means, because it certainly hasn't done that for me, although I have taken my KDR up just a smidge while using it, going from 0.5 to a laughable 0.93. Yes, I know, I'm terrible. I'm old, I only play at the weekends, basically, so I don't have much experience. In order to control the settings on the mouse, you first have to open up the Corsair Web Hub, which, as you see, requires you to close iCue beforehand, which is pretty nuts. So we have to exit iCue because it just won't show up in iCue in order to be able to do this, to be able to authorize the mouse in order to be able to use it, which is odd. From here, you can adjust the DPI levels, which, as you'll see, have multiple different stages of DPI. I've had mine set on about 1600. And you can change the various different counts on there. Now, as standard, there's no button to actually switch between DPI levels. As you can see, this is what the standard setout is. You'd have to program a button in order to be able to do that. So we might have to change one of the buttons in here to be a DPI level adjustment. So you could have a DPI clutch, for example. as one of the potential options of what you could do, or you can choose from a number of other things. You can also go in here and use the macro manager, so it is possible to record macros on there. Obviously, the button limitations mean there isn't a great deal of what you can do and what you can change on here, but you do have the option to program in some of these things if you want to. One of the biggest frustrations for me has been battery life. You'll see that the mouse wheel flashes when the battery's getting low, so it flashes red, and if you're lucky, you'll catch that with your eye, which I have done, to be fair. But I do find that I have to plug this in super regularly, and I'm talking like every 4 days or something, I'm having to plug it in, and that's kind of annoying. Now, having the dongle nearby with the cable means you can easily grab the cable and then plug it into the mouse, and I've definitely had no problems with signal, but I do notice that the cable tugs on the mouse a lot more, so you definitely feel the weight of the cable and the reduction there. It's been hard not to compare this with the DeathAdder V3 Hyperspeed, which is my main mouse when I'm not testing others. This is a larger mouse, as you can see, and it weighs more at 53 grams, but it's definitely my preference between the two. I've been using the DeathAdder V3 Hyperspeed for quite a while now, but I really like a lot of the features of this. It sits nicer in the hand, it's bigger and it's more comfortable. It has great signal and connectivity, but it also has a powerful feature in Razer's Synapse software. You can turn on dynamic sensitivity, which means that it adjusts on the fly and reacts to very fast hand movements. So if you have a really slow movement most of the time, then suddenly want to flick around for quick shots, you can put it into jump mode, which then shifts into super high sensitivity really quickly on the fly. I've found this is very useful across competitive shooters, and I really find that it reacts really nicely to this, and not having that feature on the Corsair mouse actually was quite telling when switching between the two. So out of the two, I'd definitely choose the Razer mouse. However, if you're interested in Corsair, stick around now to hear a sound test and check out the links in the description down below. You've made it right to the end of the video, you brilliant legend you. If you've enjoyed it, click that subscribe button, give me a thumbs up, and drop me a comment down below if you've got any questions. If you really enjoyed it, consider joining the channel and see the benefits of doing so. Check out these other videos, you might well find them interesting or useful, and most importantly, have a great life.